This whole meeting is a little less sort of like expert to attendee so much as it is, we want to try to make it more social and more sort of attendee to attendee learning and act as more facilitators. We're doing some very different things, including like a walking tour. We're very excited that the weather seems to have cooperated with that.
We're going to have a fabulous research breakfast symposium featuring some of the AAOA research, and then we're going to break out into different concurrent sessions so you can decide exactly what you want to go to. We're going to have a recap, which is featuring certain allergy and asthma topics, and you can choose those throughout the day that you may want to go in or out of. Also running concurrently with different practice management sessions.
I'm Ken Hertz. I work with the MGMA Healthcare Consulting Group. I actually did work managing ballets and symphonies years ago, and then got into healthcare through a wrong turn in New Orleans somewhere. What we'll do today is go through and talk about some basic terms, some definitions, and some tools that I think you can take back to your practice, concepts of how to deal with how your practice operates.
So our session now is managing and developing your most valuable practice asset, your employee. The cost of replacing staff is about 16 to 20% of the salary of the position. So when we have high turnover in our practices, that's very expensive for us.
A lot of people in this audience knew B.J. Ferguson or heard her speak. She passed away last summer and was very involved in this organization, both as an allergist and rhinologist at the University of Pittsburgh, and very much a pioneer in the field, very smart physician scientist, very much cared about this organization. And she was very entertaining on panels. She was always a little bit controversial, but knew her facts, and very dear to many people. Her family contacted the board afterwards, and they gave a gift. And so it's my privilege to say that we've used these funds to bring in expertise for something that BJ loved, which would be food allergy. Please welcome Dr. Assa'ad.
We're going to talk about some hot topics in food allergy. And one of them is the increase in food allergy. And of course, in an allergy practice, we see other allergies other than food, but I have this graph only from when I started in 1997 as an attending there up till 2005, and then I stopped tracking it. But as you can see that the percent of food allergy gradually increased, as well as the number of patients. So the question is usually, what do they want from us? And they want accurate and comprehensive diagnosis. We want to do a good job with them. They want knowledge about every aspect of the disorder. They want novel treatments. And they also want prevention for future siblings. So if a family has a child with food allergy, or a parent has food allergy, they want to make sure that the child or the sibling does not have the same disorder.
I'm going to talk more specifically about revenue cycle, getting the money in the door, and how we can improve that process specifically in your practice.
Staff can write down the HPI. However, it's your responsibility as providers to review it, add to it, attest to it, that you are the one that has taken that information from that patient.
We're going to talk a little bit about the reality of the world we're in now, because it's a different world after the Affordable Care Act got passed, why it's critical to your practice success to negotiate. I'm going to go through the process. I'll give you some real strategy and tactics that both the payers use and I've seen providers use.
We're really going to be talking about dosing, optimization, how much does SLIT cost, how do we manage our costs to our practice for producing SLIT or making SLIT. And we're going to talk about marketing and building up our practice.
We're in this unique situation where we have to decide how much to charge our patients for this treatment that we want to give them. Is SLIT cost effective for our practice?
What we're going to do this morning is really actually sort of a combination of about two speeches. The first half of this, I'm going to sort of set the stage on what's happening from a macro perspective in healthcare. because you have to understand what's going on, where it's going, to really set the stage for the second half, which is a broad look at strategic and tactical practice management from a business perspective. You all have the clinical stuff down. I have no doubt about that. This is about how to handle the business stuff so that you can be there for the clinical.